Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is called Wasted Youth. It was written by Christopher Smith Adair. It's part of a collection called New Tales of the Miskatonic Valley, and it's available from Drive-Thru RPG. Our game master is Jen Obertacz, and this is episode 2. Our recap will be given by Oren Meyer as his character, Vincent Sprague. So, without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Oren?
Well, my day started interesting enough with a request by Sheriff Nichols to meet in his office. There I was joined by 5 other people, a Dr. Ramsberg, a sociologist from Germany, Mr. Shaw, a local PI, Mr. Clancy, a journalist, and a local hunter, Mr. Hamner. It seemed Sheriff Nichols needed help to investigate a recent rash of deadly incidents involving unlikely youngsters, and to find out what was causing youngsters to act out and put a stop to it. The 5 of us agreed to look into it and broke into groups to tackle various possible leads. Dr. Ramberg and I went to the ME office to see what reports they had there, while Shaw and Clancy decided to gang up on the newspaper, and Hamner, being the local man, was probably the best bet to talk to the local families of the boys involved. We agreed to meet for lunch at the old Roach House to share what we had discovered. Look forward to that meatloaf. At the ME's office, Ramberg and I were able to see the reports about the 2 boys that had died. We noticed that both had a tarry substance in their stomachs and some brain abnormalities that were mentioned. Unfortunately, the ME office hadn't kept samples of the black tarry substance. We decided to hit the Arkham Asylum where I work and see if we could convince my colleague to let us see the 3rd boy that was placed under his care. Shortly after we had got there and talked to the nurse in charge, Shaw and Clancy showed up. We decided to split up right there, have Clancy and Shaw talk to the nurses and the crew there, while Ramberg and myself decided to talk to my colleague. We had just started to talk to my colleague, and we had convinced him to let us talk to the boy and see the reports, when there was shouting and yelling coming from outside. I wonder what is going on.
What is going on indeed? Okay, so camera pans down from above into a scene at Arkham Sanitarium, where 2 11-year-old twins are trashing an automobile, and Mr. Darius Shaw is advancing on one of them with brass knuckles. Don't fuck with the flowers.
Last chance, kid. You'll remember.
Darius, don't hurt the kids. They're just kids.
You'll remember today, every night, when you're all dressed up with nowhere to go because of how I'll rearrange your face permanently, boy. You'll remember today.
Actually, it's the girl who has the bouquet, but yes.
Oh, and girly. So Darius looks at her hand with the bouquet. Every time a boy reaches for your hand, just to jerk back, because it's a misshapen lump after I crush every single finger. You'll remember today. So, last chance. Remember, you have a choice. Walk away from my car. Please. And then he just slowly walks towards the boy with the bat.
Okay, that was a great speech. So let me let's see. That actually does deserve a dice roll to see whether or not that actually worked as an intimidation tactic.
Yep. And I think you know why he's warning them about choices they make today.
Exactly. Okay.
Right.
Yes. Roll me an intimidate, please, and actually give yourself a bonus die because that was a fantastic speech.
Alrighty. First roll, 48, and I just rolled a 10, right? Or do I roll both?
Oh no. Oh, that's great. So you just rolled a 10 with the bonus die. That is an extreme success. Normally, these kids wouldn't have even like taken any of that to heart and would have just gone, who says or whatever. But actually, both of them are just have paused and are kind of looking at you, and their eyes are huge. Like,
and I scare them into throwing up.
Their eyes are huge. They're very pale. In fact, the boy looks at his sister and is like, "Mary, he's serious. Put him down."
This is going to be fun. And he just keeps walking towards them very slowly.
Okay, mister. Sure, fine. You're the biggest dog in the yard, she says as she gently puts the bouquet down. We'll walk away. That's fine. It's not like we don't have other people. It's not like we don't have other things we can't trash anyway. Come on, Gary. This ain't fun anymore. And with that, the two kids pop themselves out of your car and make their way away. Or at least they're starting to head that direction, unless you guys want to do anything else.
Clancy was going to go back in and, tell someone to call the cops. We've got two juvenile delinquents out here trashing a car.
You can still do that if you'd like.
Yeah, when this was going on with Darius, that was where I was going.
Okay, so you head back into the sanitarium and you find the nurse at the front desk and let her know what's going on. She's like, "Oh no, another one of these? Oh, of course, I'll call them right away. 911. Yes, Arkham Police. We've got attacked by two juveniles in front of the sanitarium against a vehicle. Please come quickly." And she's giving all the various information.
Yeah, I'm running back out to back up Darius, though.
Right. You get back out there just as these kids are leaving. The boy has his bat over his shoulder. The girl's got a switchblade in her hand that she's sort of just hanging down by her waist. And they're leaving. You don't know what Darius said to them, but it's convinced them that they need to get out.
Clancy, we probably want to follow them. I kind of need to find their parents to pay for my car.
Yeah, exactly. And to make sure they're not doing anything else.
Well, I mean, I need money to fix my car, but yeah, that too. So then Darius goes and huddles over, kind of blocking the bouquet to sort of shove it somewhere in the car while no one's watching.
Mm-hmm. Thankfully, it's actually not all that damaged. Yeah, a couple of blooms have lost some petals, but aside from that, it's a little crumpled looking, but it's otherwise fine.
Okay. Good thing they didn't mess up my car and killed my dog. Otherwise, they will not end well.
They've been in trouble.
Okay. All right. So you guys are following after them, and the girl finally sort of turns. She's like, "We said we were leaving. Why are you following us?"
Drop the switchblade.
Why should I?
Do you want to talk to Darius again?
Besides, it's hard to break cars with a switchblade. You need a bat or a hammer.
I wasn't doing it on your windows or anything. It was mostly the seats and the tires.
No, but other cars. You're not going to break into a car with a blade. You need a bat like your brother.
That's what he was here for. I did the interior stuff.
Oh, so you guys have a system set up. Smart.
Yeah.
Is this the first car, or you guys already got a few cars?
Who's asking?
Are we close
Wow.
enough to them as we're talking, having this conversation to
they're-
maybe grab some of this away from them?
They're kind of about maybe a couple yards away. And they're definitely kind of wary, arms over their chest. They're backing up. They don't want to get too close to you. Especially you, Darius. You're scary.
We'll keep following.
Yeah, I just want to watch now that you're breaking other people's car and not mine.
Look, dude, we just want to, have a little fun. No harm, no foul. We stop breaking your stuff. We're cool, right?
Kids, what are you
it
on?
is. And breaking things for fun, I agree with you.
What are you two on?
On? What do you mean, on?
You taking drugs?
What?
What's
No.
going on here? Is this normal activity for you?
And her brother's like, yeah, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? We ain't taking anything. We're just eating, drinking normal stuff, right? Looked
What
over.
you been eating?
What's
Or
it to
drinking.
you?
Well,
We're
we
gonna
want some.
follow you.
Oh, I just want food.
Yeah, right on cue. Both your stomachs give a very loud growl. Oh, someone ain't eaten in a while.
You got
Yeah.
some stuff to share?
No,
What'd you do with it?
we ain't got anything. Not we ain't hit the candy store recently. Sorry.
What candy store?
You know, the one downtown. We hit that one a couple times already.
Why don't you take us to this candy store? I'll buy you some candy.
Can you buy me some candy too, Clancy?
I'll buy you some candy too, Darius.
Perfect.
The twins kind of look at each other and they're like, what do you think? I don't
pull
know.
out- I'll pull out $1.
They both sort of like, what?
Say, come on, show us where the candy store is.
All right, come on. And
Look at
they
that. Where did you get that dollar? Was that my dollar?
Chill out. We're
And
good.
so-
We're good.
So yes, the two of you are being led somewhere downtown. Camera pan indoors. Dr. Vincent and Dr. Sprague and Dr. Ramberg. You didn't hear any of this because you're in Dr. Harcourt's office and about ready to go see Billy Washburn.
All right.
Let me find my papers.
This should be quite interesting. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, Dr. Sprague. I agree. I do like how you're great in American in psychiatric interior decorating. It's great. I love it. It's very calming as well. And
Okay.
will Dr. Harcourt be joining us?
Oh, of course. I would assume so.
Yes, in fact, I will be.
Excellent.
Yes, follow me. He's right this way. He leads you down the hallway into his area of the ward. It's not any really high security ward or anything. After he was admitted and puked up the black stuff, he's been a model patient basically. So there's no real reason to put him in anything worse than this. So, it's aside from the sort of darker hallways, because even though there's some good sized windows in this place, it still has that very gothic architecture to it, so light doesn't always get everywhere. But
I
he
feel
does.
right at home. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So he gets you down to a room maybe 3 doors down on the right. Ah, here we are. Billy Washburn opens the door and kind of curled up in bed, he's actually looks like he might be asleep, is what looks to be about a 12-year-old boy, kind of thin, kind of slight. He kind of looks a little oversized in his sanitarium provided pajamas, and he's got a mop of dark hair sort of flopping over his face, and he's sort of got his head buried into a pillow, and is that sort of hunched over sense you get. like if you're on your side and trying to like block out everything. But from what you can tell, he definitely looked like he might be asleep.
I guess I'll wait for maybe because Dr. Harker just kind of opened it and is he just letting us walk in? Or...
Yeah, he's letting you in.
Okay. So I guess
Harcourt, it is your Dr. Harcourt. It is your patient.
Yes,
yeah, I was kind
course.
of waiting for him maybe.
Now, professional etiquette here.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Dr. Sprague. Dr. Harcourt walks in and sits on the edge of the bed and gently gives Billy a bit of a shake. Billy, wake up. I have some people here who would like to speak with you. He kind of like rubs at his eyes a little bit as, he brushes some of that dark hair off his forehead. And he's sort of blinking up at you like he's still a little bit fuzzy with sleep. But aside from that, he, seems normal. Hi, can I help you?
I'll introduce myself. I'm like, hello, Billy. I am Dr. Adrian Ramberg. I've come all the way from Germany. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Wow, really? Germany?
Yes. Oh, yes. I could tell you about the trip if you would like. It was quite long.
Yeah, that'd be really awesome, mister.
Of course.
Doctor...
Would you like any? No. You can call me anything you like. Would you like any? Are you thirsty? Do you want any water or?
Yeah, water, please.
Dr. Harker, can that be arranged?
Of course. He goes out in search of that. So he's sort of pushing himself up to sort of sit against the pillows. You kind of notice, and this doesn't even require a roll, that he's doing it and like he's definitely seems a little bit unsteady and kind of weak.
Okay.
Oh, and I am Dr. Vincent Sprague. I work here, but I have brought Dr. Ramsberg and myself found that your case was quite interesting.
I don't know what you mean, Doctor.
Well, out of curiosity here, have you been eating anything recently, or been given anything to eat? Before when all this occurred, before this all occurred.
I told Dr. Harcourt I don't remember. I don't remember anything.
What do you remember then? What is the last thing you remember before coming to this place?
Yes.
I'll probably come over and sit on the bed and kind of just try to get comfortable with the kid.
You kind of tell he's. Again, this doesn't even require a roll. You can kind of tell this is kind of distressing to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's trying to remember and he can't.
Can I maybe psychoanalyze him a little bit?
Sure, go right ahead.
All right. Okay, I passed. So
okay,
just a regular pass.
All right. It's partly that like he doesn't remember, but there's also something else. Like you're not entirely certain what it is, but there is something that is also bothering him aside from the fact he can't remember.
It's like it's just blocked. I see.
Well, it's not really that. It's just more of if you had more time with him, you could probably tease it out.
Yeah.
But
we've just met him. You've just met him. So I feel like I would probably ask, maybe gesture to Dr. Sprague to come over and maybe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just so we can get him. He's obviously kind of tired. We can get him comfortable. That water should be coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I remember I was at school. It was lunchtime, and then he shrugged. Then I was here.
What can you tell me? Who do you like to hang out with at school and at lunchtime? You have any friends at school? Do you have any friends?
Yeah, I've got a lot of friends. Actually, I got a lot of friends.
I'd like to hear much about your friends, please.
Oh,
like the ones that you were with at lunch.
Yeah. Do you sit with anybody at lunch and eat them regularly?
Yeah. Well, I got a lot of friends at school, Doctor. I sometimes sit with with Roger and with Clark, and sometimes I sit with sometimes I sit with Freddie and Bruce, and sometimes I eat with about 3 or 4 other guys, and I just
What can you tell me about them? It's what makes you like to change around? Like, are they different hobbies, different social groups?
I like people, and sometimes sometimes I get talking to somebody right when class is out, and we want to keep talking, so we have lunch together. Or
do you remember who you had lunch with before, or like who do you think you would have had lunch with that day? Was anyone you talking to earlier in school?
I mean, just my normal friends that day.
What's his name?
He thinks for a moment. Well, I remember I had lunch with Freddie and Bruce because we had just gotten out of gym, and we'd been playing baseball.
Oh, very fun.
They'd been on my team. And Bruce had hit a really great double that no one was able to block at all, but which was really fun. And we were talking about maybe playing baseball after school, but then next thing I know, I'm here. And people are telling me I broke windows.
I do not believe it was you of your own actions, volition. Of course, thank you, Dr. Sprague. My English is not so good. I did come from Germany. The school was good, but not that good. I was having trouble reading. Actually, do you read much? Actually, Billy?
I mean, I do. I'm more into sports, but I mean, of course, I can read.
I just didn't know how well he could read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do pretty well in school. I'm just, I'm more into sports and playing with friends, and going down to the river and catching frogs and such.
You don't ever put any of that in your mouth, right? Like you don't eat that stuff.
Ew.
Yeah,
I mean,
ew.
yeah. When I was like maybe 6, I ate a worm on Adair, but no, I don't do that.
And I was wondering if you have changed anything in your diet. We believe that is probably the cause of all this, that made you perform actions that were not your own. We do not believe you are a menace. You are not a menace. You are just a 12-year-old child. You are Billy, 12-year-old, has friends, really popular, good
did
student.
You have something special for lunch, or did you trade something for lunch?
Anything new?
Not that I can think of.
Do you know if your friends have they been eating anything new? Billy, what was the friend's name?
Freddie and Bruce are the ones I was
Freddie and
Bruce. That day.
I need to write that down.
But
did they have something special that day?
I don't think so.
Maybe cookies.
Have they had
candy?
Anything special? Any recent days? Like, it doesn't even have to be like of the day you don't remember.
Well, let's see. Freddie liked to buy candy after school at the sweet shop downtown, but everyone likes to go there.
Where's this sweet shop?
It's on... like I said, it's downtown. Kind of like on the corner of Church and Pickman.
Okay.
But
I look to Sprague because I'm like I don't know where that is.
I kind of assume I know what the sweet shop the boy is talking about.
Yeah, it's a pretty popular candy place.
I know of it. Yeah, I always
been there forever.
I always like the sour cherries. What is your favorite, Billy?
I really like their gumdrops. They've got
yeah.
they've got all the best flavors. But I mean, we've had things from there before, and nothing's happened then. I don't.
Oh, it could be nothing. We just had to ask.
No. Let me think. Bruce likes to go to what was it?
I would like to try some American candy. That does sound quite nice. I've heard good things, and then you've both convinced me, Billy and Dr. Sprague.
Well, let me think.
What does Bruce like? You were gonna tell
Bruce
us.
likes to go to this diner sometimes because they get these cupcakes from a bakery that's not too far away. But I don't think had he had one that day. I don't remember.
What's in these cupcakes?
Oh, just sometimes whatever flavor of cake, and there's frosting on top. They're not they're not anything really real fancy, but they're always really good.
He's a cake man.
Hmm.
I understand that. My one brother likes cake. Doesn't like pie, but likes cake.
Yeah, Bruce is like that. He loves those cupcakes, but he's thinking, I don't remember.
And which diner does he get him at?
Oh, Marino's, I think.
Marino.
But like I said, they don't bake them. They get them from somewhere else.
It's a start. You have helped us tremendously, Billy. You should be very happy.
Oh, I hope
so. It has been quite a pleasure to meet you. You will be leaving this place very soon. I have no. We will. You are not the problem. We believe that this perhaps a new element of candy or food. You probably innocent enough didn't even know. We believe it is infested this community. Unfortunately.
Oh no.
You're helping us tremendously stop this, though. This is you. You've helped us.
I hope so, because I mean, I liked Lou well enough, but I didn't know him very well, and then Joey.
Of course. They did not know what they were doing, and we have to stop this tragedy, and you're helping us stop this.
Well, I hope so, but he's actually starting to cry a little bit.
I don't know.
I hope my mom and dad are.
I pull out a handkerchief.
Yeah.
I hope they won't be mad at me.
Here.
I didn't want to.
No, your mommy and daddy just want the best for you. They're worried that this is why we are here. We are here trying to figure out, and that it is not in your mind. It is something you've eaten, I believe. And Dr. Sprague and I, that is the conclusion we have drawn to.
Okay. He, dabs at his eyes with your handkerchief and gives it back.
Where is that water?
And right on cue, in walks Dr. Harcourt with a pitcher and a glass. Here you are. Hands the glass to Billy. Thank you. Sip.
I murmur like German obscenities under my breath that no one can understand.
Mm-hmm. All right, Billy, is there anything else you might want to say to them? I don't think so. I've told them what I can remember. But if you think of anything else to ask me, I'll answer what I can. Very, very good. I think after he's had some water, I think it's about time we should leave Billy to his rest.
Yeah, he does seem to need his rest. He seems to need some time to recover.
But I hope this was. He leads the two of you out. Thank you very much, Billy. We'll leave you now. Thank you. It was very nice to meet both of you.
It was very nice to meet you too, Billy. We will meet again soon. We will be back.
Okay.
Please just try to rest for now and drink water.
Okay.
And I'll leave them to it.
No.
We appreciate your help, Dr. Harcourt.
Yes.
Of
Our
course.
meeting was very informative.
Oh, I hope so. We've both been keeping him here just for observation to see how his general temperament is.
I
thus far.
believe the there's no reason to keep him here. He is fine. Yeah, I believe he has purged whatever ailed him. This black tar. I curse we have no samples though.
I know.
But we do have a couple ideas. We just so that because I want to keep you in you're part of our threesome here for information. It seems that either it could have been from some sweets, either a candy or some type of cake or brownie.
We believe it is. They mentioned the candy shop, and I believe that we must consider all avenues of distribution, because if someone is doing this, like putting this substance to children, they must have more than one place they're doing it. They wouldn't be. But perhaps it's theory, speculation. I simply just believe
of course.
Pandemic.
Yes, I mean, but if we do get another case like this, we definitely need to. You might want to let the other doctors know here to use your treatment, or maybe Epicat.
Something to purge the guy.
Purge them.
He sort of pauses to think about it. Do you have any of that with you?
Yes, actually, I have some Epicat in my office.
Well, not Epicat, potassium bromide. That's what made him expel it.
Oh,
yes, I do recall having that in my notes. Potassium agitates the condition, does it not?
Yes, potassium bromide. In most cases, it's just a slightly stronger sedative, but in this case, that's what made him throw up the black substance.
Dr. Harcourt, I believe you have discovered a cure for this. I believe, if I to be so brash, I believe that this possibly is what we will need for this condition.
Mm-hmm. And I do believe I have some in my office. I can grab my bag and make sure I have some with me in case if we run into anyone. But it would be good for you to let the colleagues know as well. And to make sure to keep whatever comes up.
Yes, of course. I'll be sure to do that. We need to be able to study a sample of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We will attempt to find the source, and perhaps even a muffin of our own, or a cupcake, a candy bar, whatever.
Right. So he's actually got a clipboard out, and he's writing some furious notes. I'll make sure to get the word around and see if anyone else remembers anything similar. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I don't believe so. What do you think, Dr. Ramberg?
Nothing other than what we can discuss later on the publication of this paper.
Yes, I agree.
Of course. We'll be seeing quite a lot of each other getting this paper written, I have a feeling.
I believe my fortune has turned in America, and I'll kind of give a nice handshake to Dr. Harcourt, and nice one, and be like, it is nice to have met you, and I believe we will be working a lot together soon.
Yes, I'd rather believe we will. Good day, Dr. Ramberg, and I will see you later, Dr. Sprague.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
All right, let's go to my office. Let me get my medical bag and some of that medicine and a few other things so we can be ready.
All right.
Lead the way.
So while you two are doing that, Brody, you finished talking to the families. Are you heading to the Roach House, or are you going to head to the sanitarium? What's your plan?
No, I'm going to head to the Roach House. I've got my notebook. I'm going to start figuring things out. I think that I'm figuring some things out, but I'll discuss it with the others when they get here.
Okay. So when you arrive at the Roach House, this is a pretty famous diner. Like, as you enter, of course, there's the billboard outside says, the Ranch House. It's got it has a very sort of outdoorsy theme, but still very that Americana-ish kind of. Right. Not quite to 50s level yet, but definitely would get there given about 30 years.
It's still the food and stuff,
but like
Americana food.
Mm-hmm. So like it's not quite a greasy spoon yet. But it definitely has that feel of one. And of course you go in there, you're a regular. Most of the waitresses know who you are. Brody!
What time is it?
Oh, it's probably about I would say maybe about 2:30 maybe.
Okay, so it's after lunch.
Yeah, but it's still lunch-ish.
Well, I haven't eaten, so I'll eat
Yeah.
lunch.
Right.
I mean, if they have burger and fries, I'll have burger and fries.
And of course they do. It's just, what's a diner without a burger, for heaven's sake?
Yeah.
And so of course they bring you your food, and this is the Roach House's burger is actually really good. There's a reason you order it every time you come here.
Yeah. They slaughter the cows right in the back.
Basically. And of course, do you have like a soft drink? Do you have like really strong coffee? What are you drinking with this?
Coffee.
Coffee? Okay. They bring you your coffee. It's piping hot, freshly ground. And of course, they leave a small little cream pitcher and a sugar bowl with you in case you want it.
Okay.
Yep.
The waitress, Mary, we'll say.
Yeah.
Mary, do you have kids?
No, but my sister's got two.
How old are they?
9 and 10.
9 and 10. Do they go to Eben S. Draper School?
I think so. Not
Okay.
I think I should know that. She kind of chuckles at herself a little bit because it's been a long day. She's kind of a little frazzled trying to remember some of this.
Okay. Well, if she seems a little frazzled, then she's not really that. I'm just asking, conversational wise.
Oh, of course. She's just, it's been a long day.
Yeah. All right. I'll let her get back to her work. I'll just wait for the others to show up.
But, ain't something going on, Brody?
Oh, not really. You've heard some of the stories about the kids acting strangely.
Oh yeah. I told Darla, make sure keep on both her kids. We don't want them ending up like those boys. What could have happened? They were such good kids.
I don't know. So far, we're guessing it's some sort of substance abuse, but they seem rather young for that kind of thing, don't you think?
That's awful. I mean, yeah, the Marino boy was a high schooler, but what in the world? Oh,
Well,
that's awful.
I mean, I'm starting to suspect that it's not drug abuse. It's more like somebody is slipping something into their food. I don't know, but yeah, tell your sister to keep her kids, pack their lunch for them.
Yeah, of course. I'll make sure of that. Thank you.
Yeah.
She clutches her notepad a bit closer to her chest as she scurries back to the back because are the rest of the waitresses going to be getting this gossip?
Well, so I'll just eat my food and wait.
All right. So
checking for any kind of black goo in my food.
So while you're enjoying your burger, Clancy and Shaw, you two are following the actually you've done some chit chat with them. They are Gary and Mary Woodbine. They're both 11, and they're taking you down to the, as I said, it's a rather old looking sweet shop downtown. It's been there forever. Both of you might remember either buying or lifting stuff out of there before. So the idea that a place like this might be slipping stuff to kids is kind of nobody likes that, really.
I gotta follow all leads.
Of course.
You're supposed to be having lunch somewhere, Clancy. I'm hungry.
Well, this puts us close to the diner.
Yeah, the Roach House is a couple streets down from here. It's pretty easy walk.
Well, once we get there I'm going to give the kids 50 cents.
Oh, wow, we can buy a lot with this, Gary. Yeah, and a lot.
Buy some sweets. Come back out. give us those sweets, and I'll give you another 50 cents.
They sort of glance at each other and like sort of tilt their heads together, and like there's some definite like squabbling going on. Like,
And don't try to pocket any of it. I'm keeping an eye on you. I'm talking about you, Mary. I know you're quick.
beep.
Just keep it quiet, and maybe there'll be an extra quarter for you. Just go in and get the good candy that you love to have, and maybe the last candy that you ate. Go grab some of that. Come on
Okay.
out.
Bar.
And they basically scurry into the shop. They're probably in there for about 10 minutes. Because, you know, this is the 20s. 50 cents was a lot of money back then. So they're stocking up. And so while they're doing that, you two can chit chat a little bit, strategize, what have you, if you'd like.
All right, so I'll take the bubble gum, and you get the chocolate. I get the gum.
You can pick. You can take what you want out of this, Darius. I just wanted to see if they're slipping these kids any drugs in this candy.
Wait, so I can't eat that candy, or can I eat that candy?
I think I would check it like any other candy that I, buy before I put it in my mouth.
Okay, I really want candy. So what are you thinking? Because these kids are like kids. There's nothing weird about them except, the stabby McStab face.
I think they're getting slipped some kind of drugs.
Wait, you're saying someone's trying to get them addicted to something?
Yes.
That's not right.
No, it's not right. So 50 cents should be able to buy a lot of candy.
Oh yeah, I wish you gave me 50 cents. I could buy groceries for a week.
Be a little tight, but yeah.
5-finger discount, my friend.
However you make a quarter stretch is up to you, Darius.
Did you bring your camera?
I have a camera. I have a
Perfect.
camera on me.
All right.
No, they got the smaller Kodiaks.
Okay. So as you guys are talking, they come out and they've got these two big bags of candy.
Ooh, candy.
50 cents got them a lot. So they're like, okay, we got your candy. Now where's our money?
All right, we'll swap. I will give them their 75 cents and thank them. And also, can we, where's that weapon? Did they leave the ball bat out here? Did they pocket
Mary pocketed the pocket knife, but Gary left the baseball bat outside.
All right, well, that's not going to be there when they come back out.
In fact, when he sees that, he kind of gets a bit like a bit of that flash of anger you'd seen before. Where's my bat, mister?
I don't know. I thought you left it over there.
But
Did you take
no.
it inside?
No, I left it outside because I don't want to turn this place over right now. That's not fun.
Why? Just break it when there's people around. You get more screams that way, don't you?
Yeah, but I mean, we had money and we wanted candy. So
You could have taken it after you break the shelves. What's wrong with you? You have a bat, you have a bag, you don't need them. You got free 50 cents. Think about it.
Darius, this not push the kids any. Is the switchblade visible?
Yeah.
no, she's got it like in the pocket of her dress or something.
I need something to cut the candies open, girl. Hand it over.
What are you gonna give me for it?
I'll give you a functional pair of hands. 10
Fine.
fingers. Good, because I don't know how I kept giving you 11.
All right, I'll give them some money, take the candy, send them on their way.
All
Say,
right.
we may be talking to your parents here real soon.
Oh,
And we're
they
gonna
don't.
head to
They
the
don't.
diner.
Oh, they don't know nothing. You can tell them whatever you like, but thanks for the money, Mister. And they sort of head off, and
Bye, Mary. Bye, Gary.
you sort of hear them bickering about but it's a very almost mean spirited bickering about like what they're gonna do with the money and who they're gonna rip off next, and now we need new weapons, and now we need
All right. I think just head back to the diner. It's probably about time
Yep.
to meet up.
I'm gonna start looking through, what candy they got while we're walking back to the diner.
Oh, there's pretty much anything you can think of in there. Gumdrops, chocolate bars, those like gumballs,
Okay.
all those.
While Clancy's not looking, I'm gonna pocket some gumdrops.
Doesn't bother me any.
Yeah, those like orange peanut looking things that are made of like that really springy like taffy type thing. You know what I'm talking
I
about.
love those. Yeah.
Circus peanuts. Ugh.
Taffy, like anything you could think of from an old timey candy shop is in those bags, and most of it is individually wrapped. So yeah, you guys are taking your candy stash into the Roach House, and as you enter, Brody waves you over from his table, and you can see a half-eaten burger and a pile of fries and a mug of coffee sitting in front of him.
Walk
Brody,
in.
we got candy. And then
I'm gonna walk
the bag of
in,
Candy.
wave to the waitress, coffee, black.
Why do you have candy?
I'm hungry.
Well, it's a long story, Brody, but sit back and I'll wait for my coffee and I'll tell you the entire thing.
I reach into my pocket and I pull out the candy wrappers and the
Cupcake wrapper.
See, you got candy.
and I lay
too.
them on the table.
Oh, so does any of the wrapper that he pulls out, do we have some of that candy?
Spot hidden. There's a lot of candy
Ooh.
in those bags.
All right, let's
We'll
see.
just dump it on the table. I don't care. I'll dump it on the table and start sorting through it.
33 over 55. So
I'm glad you got it.
normal pass.
Okay, so it takes you a while. There's a lot of candy in that bag. But eventually you do find what appears to be the same wrappers as the ones Brody brought out. It looks like it's how do I explain this? It looks like it's from a couple of taffies that have it's that sort of like wax paper wrapping you see on taffy. And it looks like on the inside of them, like this one might have been like a small square pink with like a green circular pattern maybe. And then the other one was like a yellow and pink, like wavy type pattern.
Do they look uniformly wrapped or like similar shape, or does it seem like someone tampered with the wax paper at all?
You don't think they've been tampered with, but with these wrappers, it's a little hard to tell. Now, granted, wax paper you can tell because it does crumple,
Right.
but from what you can tell, it doesn't seem like it has been.
I'm just going to say, Darius, hand me that switchblade.
All right, Darius hands it over. And while
See
he
if you
puts the
find
taffy
any of
he
the
has in his
substance
pocket.
in the.
Yeah, I'm just going to slice these taffies.
Wait, there's substances
My
in there?
prediction is you're not going to find anything.
Well,
What would we find in there, Brody? What did you find out?
Well, I've been thinking about this all day. We got Lou Marino, who's a high school student, who also lives on French Hill. We've got two students who also live on French Hill and go to I forget the name.
Draper?
Eben Draper School. And you've said that they've all seemed to be poisoned with this same substance. So I was wondering if there was a connection. And obviously the high school student doesn't go to that school. But it occurs to me that I found the cupcake wrapper in Lou's bedroom. Okay. So the cupcake wasn't something that he got at school. He got it from somewhere else. The boys, on the other hand, at the school could have been dosed in their lunch food. Does that make sense?
It
Was
could
there something
be.
weird
Now-
about the cupcake that
Well,
you found. What makes you
Actually,
think
it's the
cupcake?
school. See, if I was going to poison somebody, I could give them random cupcakes and candy, which would explain Lou, but it wouldn't explain the kids at school. I think somebody in the school is doing this. They gave the kids, they would have access to the lunch in the school, whereas they wouldn't have lunch. They wouldn't have access to the lunch at high school, but they could be a close neighbor to Lou. If
Right.
we found that there's a teacher that works at the school that also lives right near Lou's house, we might have our culprit, somebody who's poisoning these kids. I don't think that it's drugs. I think it's a poison.
Could
Well-
it just be the same caterer?
Caterer,
Supplier?
cater candy to the store, the schools,
Or the supplier, you know.
Well, I think Brody, we
I don't think
agree.
so.
We agree that someone is slipping this stuff to the kids. Now, if we just take it systematically, and if it's not the candy store, and it's not, you have cupcake with some of this black residue on it, we can check the cupcakes. We just kind of go there, and then what they all have in common is if it is the school that they have in common, that will be, I think, our logical next step.
Well, what we know that it's more like what we know it doesn't have in common. Cupcakes and candy, completely different people involved. And if it was candy and cupcakes in general, you would have hundreds of kids infected by now and going crazy in the streets. But if it was one person dosing a couple of kids, or, you know,
Well, it
a
seems to be
neighbor-
seems to be growing more and more. We just dealt with 2 children
I used
destroying
my
Darius's
words.
car.
I used my words to stop them.
How old
and-
were they?
11.
10, 11, yeah. Good kids.
Were they Eben
Not that bright.
kids? Were they Eben Parker? Did you find out where they went to school?
We probably
we
would have
know.
asked, right?
Yeah, you probably would have asked, and yeah, they did mention it was Draper.
So it's not some manufacturing company. It would be
No.
far more widespread.
But candy could easily be tampered with.
It could, especially
Cupcakes
like
could
you say,
easily be
if
tampered
it's-
with.
If it's taffy, and it's cupcakes, yeah, you could slip some drug into them. But I don't think it's a drug trade thing. I don't think they're trying to get kids addicted to drugs or to sell some new drugs. I think they're trying to poison these kids for some weird reason.
Poison or
it
drugs.
acts like a poison. It's affecting their
right.
brains.
We should get those doctors here and ask.
Yeah, quick pause. As you guys are all talking, Dr. Sprague and Dr. Ramberg, you two finally leave the sanitarium. It's probably about 3 now. They've been talking for a while. You guys make it into the Roach House, and you see over at a table in the corner, you've got Brody with a mostly eaten plate of food in front of him, coffee. Philip has got a steaming cup of coffee next to him, and there's a lot of candy spread across the table.
Darius might be eating some of it.
There they are. There they are, Dr. Ramsberg. Let's go.
Ah.
Ramberg. Let's go there.
Well, I'm also
2
cutting.
coffees, by the way, Mary.
Philip's cutting
Yeah.
open the taffy.
Oh, and by the way, you don't see anything. It's very colorful taffy, and the pocket knife is being gummy, but you don't see anything.
I see you have some candy.
Hand it back to
some
Darius.
American candy. Which one should
Do
I
you want
try
some?
before this is
Well,
disposed?
hold
We,
on. I do believe we
we,
should
uh,
share the information with them.
Ah, yes. yes.
We share our information with you. Before
Yeah,
you
we'll
eat
we'll
candy.
swap. Yeah.
swap notes.
So yes, you all swap notes. So now,
Black substances, eh?
Hmm.
Yeah, in fact, I'd like to see. I bet that cupcake wrapper is key to it. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Dr. Ramberg?
Oh yes, of course, Dr. Sprague. I believe it's something we've been looking for.
Excellent job, Mr. Hamner.
Your friend in the morgue. I think you should ask him what kind of poisons would cause a mental breakdown. Because I'm still thinking that it's a poison. It's not a hallucinogen or anything like that.
We've determined that potassium bromide actually agitates the condition in a good way for the body to purge, to remove the substance fully. It is what saved, I believe, Billy Washburn. That is what I believe saved him. The quick thinking of Dr. Harcourt.
That's good. I don't think, though, that we want any more children infected or
We
poisoned.
did find out that the cupcakes can be purchased from Marino's restaurant,
Yeah.
and they got them baked.
Where is that located? Is that on French Hill?
yeah, it's not terribly far away from the Marino house, and you do remember Chris telling you about that.
So somebody could have purchased a cupcake, laced it with whatever this tar poison is, and then given it to Lou. Now, we don't understand why, but then there's crazy people that do crazy things for crazy reasons.
Well, it could be that Lou had, when they sold cupcakes to the restaurant, that the person who's doing this slipped by accident, slipped a laced cupcake, and Lou just happened to get that by happenstance, because it sounds like to me like it's mainly middle schoolers that are getting hit with this.
What are they getting hit with? When we talk to the orderlies, that little Billy Washburn took
or I should
down
say elementary
both of them.
kids.
Yes, it seems to be a more younger group. The Lou Marino is the outlier here among all the cases we've seen.
Lou Marino, I don't think that anybody involved with the cupcakes directly did anything, because they wouldn't have access to the school.
Do you think perhaps Lou Marino might have taken, perhaps was given a cupcake? Like
I
perhaps
think he was.
like
Maybe Lou
from
got
one of the
little-
children or something. Because I do not.
Or a bake sale.
But what if Lou just got a little too close to discovering something, and let's call him what he is. He's a homicidal murderer, because he's murdered 2 kids with some sort of poison that drives him crazy. He got too close and he got given a cupcake that had poison in it.
This makes this quite more worse than we would have hoped for. But.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think a good place to start might be finding out where the Marino restaurant gets its cupcakes.
Of course, I believe that is where we should start.
Okay, well, you still think that somebody working in the manufacturing plant is putting poison in the cupcakes and then going to the school and putting poison in the kids' food?
I'm just suspecting the.
Well, it might not be a manufacturing plant. It might be someone who's a caterer or just a simple
all this, but
housewife or something.
Between the cupcakes and the candy, this can easily be this substance, whatever it might be, can easily be included into it by anyone. You know, I could. No, I bought a bag of candy.
It can't easily
put it in
be
there.
done by anyone.
Well,
it has to be somebody who has access to the kids in school.
I could give
Marino.
I could give kids candy. I could walk outside and give kids candy now. I could give them. I could give them cupcakes now.
So if
I don't have to be
out,
connected to the school per se,
right? And you certainly aren't connected to the cupcake people or the candy people,
right?
Either.
That's just the mode of transportation or of mode of and means of getting this substance into the children. We still don't have. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you that the school is a good place to go to, because I'm kind of at a loss.
It's going to be a teacher. My best guess is a teacher who's also a neighbor of Marino.
Or maybe the cafeteria staff.
Once again, now how do you explain the cupcake?
The cupcakes are baked at school by the cafeteria staff. Or
Then how did they get it in the candy?
Mr. Hammer,
the cupcakes aren't baked by
here, Hammer. Here, Hammer.
by school.
Did you happen to collect any evidence from the rooms? You mentioned the cupcake wrapper.
I got the wrappers in their at their homes.
Perhaps can I see it?
Oh, it's right there on the table.
Oh, I guess can we like look over it? Because you did say it was kind of suspicious.
Like
I don't.
black dots.
Yeah, there are some black dots. Dr. Ramberg, give me a spot hidden, please.
Okay.
I agree that we have to look into everything, but
that's a fail. I failed that.
unlikely.
Okay, so you're looking at it, and you can see the specs because Brody pointed them out.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as you can tell, there's nothing, and aside from them looking kind of glistening and tarry, but again, they're like flecks, so it's hard to really tell my details about them.
Like the only reason I'm looking at it is because Brody pointed it out, so I'm like,
right.
You mentioned something, so I don't know. It sounded black. See, I think black flecks. I think black tar.
Yeah, like
we take it to a lab or something.
It's quite obvious that these don't belong there, but aside from that,
Could also be some detritus that was on the floor of the kids.
Exactly. I have no idea. Unless we test.
We have two doctors here.
We could take it to the labs. There is a lab at the asylum.
I'm not that kind of doctor.
We could have it taken over there. But I think Brody is right. It has to be someone connected to the school. I mean,
to both.
Maybe, and I think that would be the best place to start off, or talk to the kids of who is making brownies or giving out brownies there.
It could also be
not brownies.
You said it earlier. It could be a student. Maybe it's somebody. Yeah. Although I don't think a student has the sophistication to come up with this.
No, but it could be.
They could be the patsy. Yes.
The only other thing I thought of was, what if it's some toxic substance out in the woods, and the kids play in the woods all the time.
It's in their stomach, though.
Well, that's just
they're ingesting it.
That's a big problem, because if I took a chunk of tar and I stuck it in a cupcake or in a piece of candy, you'd kind of notice when you sucked on the candy, wouldn't you, and spit it out?
But if it's in taffy, a taffy with a tarry substance, maybe the cupcake is you might not notice because they're so sweet. I really do not know.
It might not look like that until it's in you. You don't know.
But you don't know how this tarry substance tastes. It could be very much like antifreeze.
It might not taste
sweet
like anything. Honestly.
Isn't that what you put in wine to make it go smoother? Antifreeze.
What about the texture?
Yeah, it's a texture thing. That's why a taffy. That's why I was going with the taffy.
Yeah,
the taffy it's pretty chewy.
We should probably let's seal these up.
I can't explain the cupcake if that's truly the same substance on both of these wrappers.
It's honestly because it's two different substances. That it's cupcakes and candy. It makes me think that somebody's using that as a medium to slip something into.
Exactly.
Just to clarify, you only see the black spots on the cupcake wrapper.
Right.
I think the cupcakes is the area.
On the cupcake wrapper. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I say we can quickly drop off the wrapper to the asylum and have them research it, but that's going to take several days to do chemical analysis.
Full chemical test will take too long.
I don't
want to
believe
take it to Miskatonic to an actual lab at Miskatonic and have them analyze it.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Does anybody have contacts over there?
Does anybody of us in the Shirley Darius is a private investigator. He's probably asked questions.
It's possible that the asylum has a connection to it because they sometimes have to have labs used.
Well, same with the journalists and Clancy. I'm sure enough weird things.
I think we could
to ask them.
Well, I think we can find someone there. I don't know if I have someone that's going to specialize in doing the chemical analysis of this black substance, but we can give it a try.
There's another question that might lead us to some answers. Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupcakes and candy? Who would have the expertise to use the cupc to create such a substance that would drive children insane.
Well, and why? If we can
Well,
answer
why
the
is
We don't know
huge.
why,
answer the
but
who.
we don't
No,
need
you're
to know
onto
why. We
something,
need to know
Brody.
who has the ability to do this.
But
Well,
let's
I
get
don't.
it analyzed. Let's get it analyzed, see what
Yeah.
we're dealing with.
Right.
Maybe it is a natural substance that
What if it actually was somebody at the asylum?
Maybe to write a paper on it.
Well, maybe just maybe that people are nuts. People do crazy shit. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense. You said there were some other kids with this.
Yeah.
Isn't it going to
Gary
get
and Gary.
worse?
I think it's going to get worse.
Worse.
We
Like
should
gonna
probably go
burn
and
down
see
a
how they're
building or
doing.
something?
It could escalate. With these two kids that we just encountered had a ball bat and a switchblade.
You should bring
Oh,
them in.
my.
You should call the
They
police.
were very
and bring
good
them
with
in.
it.
We
Did
we
you get their
but
information?
yes, we have their information and we have the family. I thought we
Ah.
might go talk to the family as well.
I
Scheiße,
need them
this
to
is
pay for
spreading
my
faster
car,
than
so
I
yeah.
hoped for.
Well, if it's in candy or cupcakes or other sweet substance, I mean, that seems like easy to give to kids. And it could be anyone handing this stuff to children. So we need to really talk to the kids and see if anyone's given them something that's
All right,
kind of out of the norm.
I'm going to check the teachers at the school and see if any of them live near Mr. Marino. They would have access both to Marino and to the children at school. They could give out candy, they could give a friendly cupcake, and we should look into them. I mean, that'll be what I do.
Right.
Is
Um,
Marino's restaurant close to their house, or is it downtown yet? The restaurant.
Well, it's
itself?
French Hills, I mean, the whole city is not very big.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Everything's
It's maybe
close.
a couple streets away. They could. It's a fairly quick drive.
It's going to be a place where everybody's eating everywhere over there. So lots of ethnic food in that general area.
Brody, I think Dr. Ramsberg might be beneficial for you to take with you, and I can take the sample to the lab.
Honestly, I don't know what questions to ask. So
I will be glad to accompany you and assist on the question department.
Because there's no reason for two of us to take this stuff to the lab.
Of course, please lead the way.
How are you going to, just Brody, how are you just going to interview every teacher? I don't know how you're going to go about.
all I'm going to do at first is find out where they live. I'll find out where their addresses are.
The
And
teachers?
if I find out the teachers, I'll find out if one of them lives next to Mr. Marino.
You can see if it's a proximity thing. Yes.
Right.
I could cover our bases and go to the restaurant if Clancy want to help Brody and the doctor interview.
We have to be
School
careful not to start accusing people.
Yeah, I don't.
Exactly,
I would not
yes,
like
exactly.
to. If we spook this perpetrator now, they will vanish and we'll never catch them.
Now we gotta be careful who we ask about the cupcakes too, because that might spook them too. I think
They,
the
as far as
idea
we
of
know,
asking
we
children would be the best idea.
we don't
I think
know
the children
knows.
are the ones to ask.
Hmm.
Ask them if teachers give them candy or
Cupcakes.
anything like that.
I think that's
If-
our.
Or who
If-
gives out cupcakes at the school?
If we can find a teacher that lives near Lou Marino's house, and then we find out from the local diner that they buy cupcakes there, and we'll start to narrow it down before we even accuse anyone of,
I see.
anything.
And
Maybe I can go talk to those other two kids, Mary and Gary, and find out more.
Perhaps we should hold off on that for now. I believe perhaps we should find their homes if that is possible. Darius, like their
We
home.
got their address.
We
got
have-
their address while we're talking
Perhaps
to them.
you
Yeah.
you should go to their parents first.
Oh yeah, I think Darius is going to the parents.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think
they
we
need
can
to pay
stop
for
him.
my car.
I don't think we can
They've-
stop him from going.
Apologies for your vehicle, by the way. I heard that it suffered a horrible fate.
Yes,
Those
and I don't know if they have insurance back then.
those children are already acting on something. You need to get them to throw up.
Well, that's kind of hard to
punch them in
do.
the face.
Grab their parents and tell them that
Well,
they've been
perhaps
infected or they're poisoned.
Should Dr. Sprague, perhaps you should accompany Dr. Sprague to drop off the samples, and then he has the potassium rum. You have it, right, Dr. Sprague?
Yes, I do.
It agitates the condition, as Dr. Harcourt said, and it will get them to purge it all.
Yes.
And if we're going to the sanitarium, we can always get more there too, I guess.
Yes.
Of course.
We'll drop this at the lab, and then we will have to try to hunt down those. So why don't you come with me, Darius? Clancy, do you want to come with us as well? Or
Oh,
do you
yes. I'll come with you.
All right.
Right.
So
Dr.
Three of
Ramber,
us are
you
going to
will
the
like
lab
French
and then-
Hell. It's a lot of you'll like French Hell. A lot of Germans, other people live in that area.
I believe I've heard much about it, but I've not seen.
Well, it's kind of where immigrants live in Arkham. So
Lead on.
Germans, Italians.
I believe I
Irish.
will. I will feel quite at home.
and then after we hit the lab, I say, do you want to hit the restaurant first, or do you want to try to find those kids first? I suspect the kids.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I don't know what they've been up to. Maybe they got
All right.
bigger bats.
I'll be in the back seat of your car then, and just let me grab a sandwich to go.
And of course, that's pretty easy to finagle. As long as you pay, maybe one of you charms the waitress to give you a little extra. And this is where you guys split off. So just to clarify, Clancy, Sprague, and Shaw, you guys are heading to the lab and then to the wood brines.
Woodbines or
Yeah,
Woodbines, yes.
Woodbines.
And then Hamner and Ramberg, you guys are heading to Draper, yes?
Mhm.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. So school's let out for the summer currently, but that doesn't mean Draper isn't currently still active on other business.
When did Draper let out?
I did mention it's early June, so it maybe just let out this week.
All right.
What does that-
Just
Does
this
that
week,
change?
okay.
Does that change where you want to go?
No, I still, we're gonna have to go to the administration office.
Now,
We're gonna have
that
to
does
find out
mean end of the
where
year
they all are.
classroom parties.
It
But
does.
it also
that-
probably means that there's not going to be any more infected people in the school. The kids are no longer there eating
if they're
lunch.
receiving the
Exactly.
substance, through
Assuming,
the school.
right,
Yeah,
assuming
it's a good base that we can cover.
well,
But we still
only
need
if
to
they
know
eat it
everybody's
immediately,
address.
right? Like they could have gotten stuff that 3 weeks from now they eat and then it hits them.
That too.
I don't think these kids are going to let candy lay around, or a cupcake. If it truly is a cupcake, that's not going to lay around too long.
I mean, some of these cases are from when school was in session, though. That's why I'm a little bit.
Well, they all definitely. It depends on how long the poison takes effect.
True. Even if it builds up over time in their system. or
Yeah, these
something.
could be micro doses being given to them over time. So I really think talking to the children, we'll get the substance analyzed if this is truly the substance. And then even those two children that we just met, Darius and I, maybe they have some more information about where they're getting
I
this
also
stuff.
wanted to run some names just to see if we could figure out where these kids are, because Freddie and Bruce were the ones that Billy Washburn mentioned being like friends with, and then nothing, and then having the vandalism occur.
Yeah, actually, at the school administration, we should be able theoretically to get.
We
the
are,
names
because we
and
are
addresses
investigating on
every
behalf
student.
of the police, technically. So I feel like we
Yeah.
could get that. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
go
mostly
to
interested
the friend's house, see if they're acting strange.
Exactly. Because I only got the two names I got are Freddie and Bruce. So we'll see.
There's
Try to-
Roger and Clark too, but
Roger and
we didn't
Clark?
put them that day yet.
Yeah. I'm only interested in the people he was with that day.
Yeah, try to preempt this.
I hope we're not too late.
Interesting too that you said that Washburn went to eat his lunch and then doesn't remember anything until after he threw up.
I feel it only confirms that this is a food related, something consumed.
No, it confirms that it's quick acting.
True.
Whatever it is, he put it into his mouth, it went into his stomach, and then it affected his abilities.
Very quickly enters the system. This is very concerning.
I'm thinking either one of his friends gave him the cupcake, they were sharing stuff, or maybe someone had brought some cupcakes since it's near the end of the school year.
Yes,
that's scary too. Realize that you could have a maniac who, towards the end of the school year, gives candy and cupcakes out to the students, and then knows that tomorrow is the end of school and he disappears
easily,
having wreaked havoc. That I'll start finding names.
Yeah, we should probably do that faster.
Okay, so that seems to be a good wrap point for the meeting at the Roach House, I should say. Let me think.
It's Roche's.
Roche's.
Oh la la.
I have a hamburger.
And the metallofa.
Okay, so we're going to start with Hamner and Ramberg heading to the school.
Okay.
So you two managed to get there quickly because it's now probably about 4. And if you want to catch them before they leave for the day.
Yeah, we'll probably have called ahead. Just
I would have tried, yeah.
We're on a police investigation and we need to get into the administration office.
Perhaps if we can get the chief to like ring him up and say that we're coming over. Like we'd probably try to call him first and just I'd even want to like hopefully try to establish at some point when we can get a meeting with the chief just to establish what we've collected, because I feel like we've collected a lot of information that he might need to know soon.
Fair enough, yeah. So that would probably be a good idea too. When you call ahead to the school, you do notice, and this doesn't even require a roll, you do notice that the secretary is kind of evasive and, doesn't really want to talk to you guys.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're coming anyway.
This is police business.
All right, your funeral.
Interesting.
Quite odd. Is that quite normal? And from school secretaries here?
Not in cooperation with the police, it's not.
I will note that.
Whatever.
All right, so when you arrive at the school, Eben S. Draper Elementary is in French Hill. It teaches grades 1 through 8. This is just general information. Anybody would know this, really.
Sure.
And primarily, the student body comes from the French Hill and Rivertown area. So working middle class mostly.
And our most affected area.
All right. So we find the administration office.
And when you get there, you see the secretary is sitting in front of the principal's office at her desk. She has a very almost waspish aspect to her. That sort of grizzled old lady that with the gigantic glasses, and if this was the 60s, she would have a beehive hairdo, which she totally doesn't. This isn't the 60s. That type.
Yeah.
Venerable.
Can I help you?
They work in the office because they don't have kids of their own and they want to be useful, but they're just old bitches.
Guten Tag, madame.
We're from the
Adrian Randberg. We called ahead. We are with the police. The police have sent us.
Oh, that was you two?
We need to go through the school records.
We need to peruse your records, yes.
You're going to need to talk to the principal. That's not my area of expertise.
Well, is the principal here?
Yeah, he's here. Don't know how much help he's going to be, though. He's a busy man, you understand.
Yeah, he's not busy anymore. School's been out for a while. And this is police business. We'd appreciate your cooperation.
I'll see if he can talk to you. I wouldn't hold your breath, though. She gets up and like totters over to the door that you can sort of see stenciled on in gold. Elliot Derby, principal. And she knocks on it. What, Gilda? There's some people here from they say they're with the police, Mr. Derby. The police? Are either of them in uniform? No, I don't think so. One's a weedy little guy, and the other one looks like he lives in the woods. Well, well then, unless they can prove they're here on police business, I have nothing to say to them. All right. She turns to look at you.
I'm going past the counter, walking in.
Hey, you can't do that.
Yeah, probably following him very close.
Stop me if you want.
I'm following.
What are you going to do? Call the police. Call the police.
If you would like to call the police, I believe. You can mention our names. I am Dr. Adrian Ramberg. This is Mr. Brody Hammer. We are on behalf of the Arkham Police Department. This has become quite epidemic. I do not believe you understand how serious this condition this is becoming. Actually,
I will open the principal's door and look inside. Is he decent?
He is, but he's very annoyed with you right now.
I'd say we're looking through the school records.
You can speak with me if that's what you need, but I can't give you addresses, you understand?
Yes, you fucking can give us the addresses. We're not bumpkins. We're with the police.
I understand that, but school policy, I cannot share that information with just anyone.
I'm not just anyone.
I believe I've not introduced ourselves correctly.
By the way, he stands up from his chair. 6'5", built like a refrigerator. Definitely has like Brody. You sort of get the sense this guy is probably also a veteran. He might have been higher ranked than you. He has he's very imposing.
Are there any filing cabinets that are labeled school records?
There's filing cabinets around. He's like, I would be willing to speak with you if you aren't going to just barge into my office and rifle my papers. Thank you.
We apologize for the intrusion, but you must understand time is of the essence here. These two children we are elking for are perhaps they have ingested something already and are soon. This rash of child delinquency is connected. We have discovered this from our substance. This is a certain substance that's being consumed within your community, circling around your school district in French Hill. That's why we are here. We have my colleague, Dr. Vincent Sprague from the Arkham Sanitarium. He is. I do not know if you know him. He has currently one of your students, Billy Washburn.
At the mention of Billy Washburn, something kind of a lot of fight just leaves him. All right, you're certain it's something that was brought in?
Yes, I have. We are quite positive that some substance has been getting slipped to children across this community.
He actually sighs a little bit. You know, I've been thinking the last couple of days, what have we done wrong? What have we been slipping on?
I don't believe it is a fault of your administration, but I worry perhaps maybe someone within your administration perhaps could have been doing this.
Oh no, he shakes his head. No, not my staff. He's like, I run a tight ship at this school. If I even had a hint that any of my employees were harming the children under our care, he's like,
I would not
he clenches
claim.
his jaw and glances over at the wall where a very well-maintained World War I rifle is hanging up from a plaque.
Mm.
So we take it then. We don't have to check through the records at all. And you'll take full responsibility if one of your teachers has been murdering children.
He's like, I suppose you could say that.
Oh, really? You will take responsibility for murdering children. Well, then we'll arrest you right now.
Well, that's not quite how I meant to say it.
Let us look. Let us check and look through the records.
That was a DM screw up.
Okay. Yes, let us look through the records, or we'll charge you with child endangerment.
That is, we could actually do that. Of like,
he's like, look. Honestly, he's like, I can tell you about the kids already that have done all this, but
Do you have any teachers that live on French Hill?
a couple of them, yeah, but like, I don't.
do you have anybody who observes the lunch halls? Perhaps.
Well, we do have a cook.
Is that possible we could speak with her? I don't believe. I may merely wish to see what she could have seen on the day of the incident that Billy
School's been
Washer.
out for a while. There's the cook's not here anymore.
I guess.
Yeah.
No, she's here, mostly just getting things cleaned up a bit.
Okay.
I can go grab her if you want.
That would be great, actually. Thank you.
Besides, I'm gonna want to speak to her myself if she's. But I can't imagine she would. He actually looks rather distressed at the thought, actually. So he gets up and he disappears for a minute, and after a few moments, brings back a 55-year-old woman, German lady. Her name is Hilda Rasmussen. So yeah, Dr. Ramberg, she definitely looks like, imagine like your standard German grandma.
It's grandma. Oh no. German grandma.
When he goes to get her, I'm going to look at the secretary and say, where are the records of the students? Where I need to find out addresses and the teachers.
She sort of glances into the office, and clearly conflicted. And she's like, all right.
Ma'am, we are trying to save children in this town.
I understand that, sir, but you gotta understand. You know, we can't just do these out willy-nilly.
Yes, you can. Do it now. Can I try intimidation?
Sure, you can. Go right ahead.
What do I need? Intimidate.
Oh no. You get kicked out of the school.
She's pretty. I don't succeed, but so she's an old lady and she's,
She just, puts her hands on her hips. Now, is that any way to talk to a lady?
No, lady. If children die and you refuse to let us have access to the information, how are you going to feel?
She sort of gives you a very a frustrated look. It's not that I don't want to.
Who says?
Can't.
Why can't you?
Procedure. It's illegal.
Why is it illegal? Who says it's illegal?
Privacy. You think these parents want anyone knowing everything about them and their kids?
The police?
Look, I want to help you. I really do.
No,
but
you don't.
Unless you want to have parents up our asses for giving out information we really shouldn't be giving you, get a court order and I'll give you everything. Okay? Please?
I can try next after I get done with the lunch lady.
I'm going to grab one of the phones and call the police chief and say, get us a court order now.
That's probably a good idea. I'll talk to the lunch lady about I'll probably sit down, she's German, I'm German. I could probably get her to smile and be like, guten Tag, how are you? And like,
oh, she goes off as soon as she realizes she's talking to a countryman.
Do I need to roll German? I do have skill in that, but
No, you sure
Okay.
have language.
okay.
You're talking to a fellow German. No.
Okay, cool. So I kind of just tell her why we're here. Like it's nice to meet you, but like we have like this is a problem we've been having, and
oh my god.
I don't think she's been like I already don't think she's doing it. I'm just hoping maybe she saw something or she's seen food filtering in.
I've seen nothing like that. But
do you know a boy, Willie Washburn? Billy Washburn?
Billy Washburn. Oh yes, such a lovely boy. Very
but you're aware
athletic.
what happened? What happened?
Oh yes, why? I can't imagine why he would do anything like this. It's not like him at all.
We don't believe it was him in a way. We believe he was under the influence of some substance that has been getting slipped to the children.
Oh my god! You think someone's tampered with? She looks around the kitchen like she's like trying to think where anything could probably have been stashed.
You don't think that anything like that could have occurred here? You don't know?
She did no, not at all. I make all the food myself.
I mean, I don't believe it. We believe it originates outside, but it was affecting lots of children. Something perhaps they could have brought in during lunchtime and eaten themselves. And I would just, if you could probably remember anything, just anything.
I mean, I've got.
We've seen cupcakes are what we have most consensuously believe is the what is doing
cupcakes.
This. Yes, I believe it or not.
Well, I've not done anything with cupcakes. That's not what I do, but well.
Do you know anyone around town that specializes in cupcakes or specifically children, like perhaps bake sales, anything?
No. Well, she's thinking for a moment. Sometimes at our bake sales, people will come in and raise money for this cause or that charity or anything like that. That's normal.
Yes.
Sometimes I have students help me in the kitchen if they wish to get away for a while, but I can't imagine any of them would. But she's thinking.
I mean, I'm asking a lot. Like, think back, like weeks and weeks and a month, maybe a couple months even.
I wish I could be of more help to you, because you're such a sweet boy. She goes to pinch your cheek.
I guess I let her. I'm like, oh, thank you. But I believe if it's no trouble, if you remember anything, please give us. I'll give her like I guess whatever call. It's probably the police station, but they'll.
Of course, I will.
They'll keep us.
She's looking at the card for a minute and she's thinking. I don't think it was anything I might have. I don't know. She's thinking back. You can do a psychology if you'd like.
Okay, I'll roll psychology. All right. Yeah, that's a pass. Yeah, just regular pass, but.
She thinks she might have an idea, but she's not sure. It's kind of fuzzy. Like, or at least you can tell, like, she's sort of wrestling with whether or not it's even relevant.
I mean, I've like already I won't say anything. I'll just let her think because I've said anything at all helps. I'll go save Brody soon from the old woman.
She thinks about it for a minute. Well, there was this one student, rather shy, liked to help me sometimes, not all the time, but he didn't seem, poor thing. He was new, I think. A loner, perhaps. Didn't have many friends. I always felt bad for him. He just seemed so cut off from the world.
Do you know his name? Perhaps Perhaps we could talk to his parents or something.
Corey.
Corey.
Elijah Corey, I think.
I write that down very quickly.
But if I think of anything else, I'll be sure to let you know.
Of course. I appreciate this is a tremendous help. Any information helps.
She nods. Anything I can do. And besides, she smiles at you. You remind me of my son.
Is he here too?
He is. He works down at the docks.
Oh, perhaps I will come to visit you again before I leave for Hamburg.
Ah, Hamburg. I'm originally from Bonn. It's been quite a long time.
The flight here. We take one of those new flying planes. It's been times are moving fast, I say.
That they are. I came here by boat. Flying through the air? Oh no.
I believe I will be taking both back. I do not think I will be afforded the luxury.
Honestly, whoever told those Wright brothers that people should be able to fly?
It's quite an ill experience.
Mm.
And I'll leave her with, I'd love to come, I'd probably just maybe some information. I'll just pleasantries because she's nice. Maybe I'll talk to her son. It's like a contact, I think. So
right, yeah, definitely.
I'll leave that in a positive and kind of just say my goodbyes and then just go find Brody.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'm glowing red probably by this point.
Here, Hammer. Any luck with your records?
Hello?
We're working on it. Chief, this is Brody Hamner. We're working on.
Brody, what can I do for you?
Look, I give him the spiel of everything that we suspect so far. I need they won't let me have the records to find out where the teachers live. We need a court order or something like that. Can you call the judge, get something?
Yeah. That they want a warrant is what they want. I'll get Judge Bruckner on the line. See what we can dig up.
All right.
I'll get back to you soon.
All right. Number is ...
Yep, got it. Stay where you are. I'll get back to you.
So I'm going to set it down. I'm going to cross my arms. I'm going to stare at the woman.
Brody. Ugh.
Can I speak with the principal again? Just to kind of give him my findings of because
sure.
I know more than he does, and he seemed very genuinely concerned. So I feel for him. He's obviously loves his job. He's this is a problem for them. I just want to help.
Dr. Ramberg, what'd you find out?
I do not
Anything?
believe your staff is quite nice, and they're lovely people. I do not believe they have anything to do with this. But there was one name mentioned, Elijah Corey. Perhaps he might. We're worried that he might be at risk or involved. And at this point, we are worried that they've already been exposed and eaten this stuff and will crack it psychotically at any moment.
He actually blinks for a minute like he's having a trouble remembering that name. Corey. Oh, yeah, him. Okay. Yes, Elijah Corey. He started school here kind of recently, moved in the middle of the year. Originally from, what was it? Dunwich, I think? Wasn't fitting in very well from what I heard.
I kind of asked for clarification when he says Dunwich. I'm like, Dunwich? What? Yeah.
Yes. Dunwich. It's not too far from here. It's another small town.
I see. Apologies. I am not very familiar with your
just
American
off the Ellsbury Pike. Get on that and stay straight shot. Can't miss it.
Is that where his family is from? Is that where he lives now?
That's where they're from, I think. He's like I said, new kid. He's that doesn't fit in very well, but coming in as a new kid near the middle to end of the year, not exactly the best way to make friends.
No, of course not. That is quite trauma for a child. One they may never get over.
And well, I mean, you don't know anything about Dunwich, but it's nothing like Arkham. So he's also doesn't quite fit that way either. I
see. Well, if there's any chance I could probably contact his family. We need to cover our bases. We are worried that perhaps these children are at risk and that they are already eaten some of this drugs, this substance that drives them mad. I mean, I'm just trying to be transparent at this point.
No. I get it.
I understand. I don't want to ask breach of security. I just, perhaps even if you could call on our behalf, that would be even better.
He kind of sighs a little bit and rubs at his forehead. Like he looks very tired all of a sudden. I'll see what I can do.
I would appreciate any help.
If I can get his, if you can get either a warrant or the authorization of his parents, oh my God, sorry, DM having a stumble.
You're okay.
Look, if you can get either a warrant or I can get the authorization of his parents, nothing I can do. Wish there was.
I'll look over at Brody, like out the door, and like see how's that warrant coming.
Warrant's on its way.
Okay, I'll like kind of scoot back in and just. I guess we'll just wait for that at this point. And I'm trying to think if there's any questions I could ask him now. He seems very stressed out. Like, what time is it actually? I'm kind of.
It's probably about 4:30.
Okay. I'd also want to ask about the Billy Washburn. I mentioned that the last thing he remembers was going to lunch and eating lunch with his friends Freddie and Bruce. And this is the first we've gotten out of this from him. If you are wondering, he is quite recovered. He's quite recovered, and I do not see why they've keeping him in such a horrid place for so long.
Yeah, he's like, I know what you mean. Billy Washburn, model student, never got in trouble, good grades, athlete, natural leader. Everyone loved him. So then he suddenly starts busting windows? That don't make any sense.
No, it is out of character. We believe that is the from what we've seen in all these cases, it is linked by this substance they have consumed. It is not, isn't it? It threw him into psychotic rage. He could not control himself. He was just mad. A substance that makes children mad. I'm trying to scare him with my doctor scariness a little bit.
And add in that German accent. Like,
yeah. I'm like trying to get him to take it seriously. So come on, help us, man.
Believe me, there's definitely a lot here, I think. But get me the warrant, and I'll tell you everything. Okay.
All right. We'll wait for that then.
All right. So while you guys wait for the warrant. Skipping down to Clancy, Sprague, and Shaw, who are heading to the lab. So
I don't understand, Doc. You said the Billy kid, forgot what happened after lunch, but didn't he start breaking shit a lot later? Like, wouldn't you imagine he just trashes the cafeteria? What do you think happened?
I think what happened is soon after ingesting whatever it was, it had an influence upon him at that time point, at least the forgetfulness. Now, the actual aggression might have taken a bit longer, but at least the part of the amnesia or the blanking out, much like an alcoholic, a person when they get to that one point, they forget everything after that. Now, he might have not acted out upon it right away, but sometime in that haze, he did. Now, it could have been right away, or it could have been hours later, maybe even a day later. but the influence started affecting him almost immediately after he ate it. At least
that's that one case. And then, of course, Gary and Mary that we just met, who seemed to be able to be calmed down, or at least kind of scared into calmness. But the least bit of pushing that we gave them, they kind of flared back up with that anger. So
when you took the bat.
Yeah, so I don't know if it is an instantaneous or if it is a cumulative type of thing that's maybe given to them.
Or maybe it lowers her inhibitions.
It might, and then something really triggers, and then it triggers that amnesia, that whole acting out type of thing. So yeah, I will definitely need to get this stuff analyzed as quickly as possible.
We will drop this stuff off and quickly, and then we'll head off to where you wanted to go, Darius.
Oh yeah, the Woodbines.
So
I hope they're okay, and the kids
Should we,
didn't do anything to the parents.
It looks like here it is.
Yep. So you pull up to the lab
Mm-hmm.
back at St. Mary's.
Yep.
And well, you head on in, and this time your brother actually is in the lab. I'm trying to think. You've got Ephraim
and
the one from your game with the dolls.
Yes. Yes. There's Vincent. There's Ephraim, and there is the other V1. And
Virgil.
That's it. Virgil. Ephraim. Or is this
Vincent? How are you? Come on in.
Yes.
By the way, so the two of you that don't know Ephraim, he definitely looks like he could, be Vincent's brother. He's a little taller, a little bit older looking, but definitely has a very open, friendly manner.
Clancy and
yes. Are these
to see you again?
Are these the two that Virgil likes to help out?
Yes, that's Clancy and Shaw.
Yes, those two.
Pleasure again.
Well, I understand, Ephraim. However, this is dealing with the rash of incidents with the youngsters in town.
Really?
Yeah, Sheriff Nichols asked us to look into it. He's a little bit overwhelmed at this time point.
I don't blame him. These cases don't make any sense.
Well,
I was informed by Dent informed me that you saw the reports already.
Yes, and we noticed a occurrence amongst all three, because I talked to I went to the asylum and talked to the other boy and this doctor, and it seems all three had a tarry substance in their stomachs.
Yes, they certainly did. Did you notice the thing about the brain?
Yes, I did. That was interesting as well.
Well, you guys couldn't read it. His handwriting was really bad.
Yeah, but your handwriting was, how, I wasn't able to get the full detail. But could you tell me that part again?
Oh, well, he sort of chuckled a little bit. You know how I get sometimes, Vin. I
understand. Used to drive poor mother nuts.
Mm-hmm. Could barely read my homework. Chicken scratch, he called it. Not terribly surprised. I turned out a doctor.
Yeah, I remember the second grade teacher, Miss Rudd, really hated it.
She hated me, not just my handwriting. Took it out on the rest of you, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating family stuff. Could we hurry this up?
Children are dying here.
Well, give me a minute. He's flipping through his papers.
The brain stuff.
Yes.
Black brain.
Yes, the brain. All right. So he says after he takes a look at it. So what I saw both times was that both kids had evidence of brain disease. Like, tissue was literally being destroyed.
Oh,
You don't see that in kids.
no, you don't.
Like the entire part, like which part of the brain or the whole thing?
It was it's hard to. That's the really odd part. It was definitely damage, but it wasn't anything I'd ever seen before.
Yeah,
No
it is
catalyst. Couldn't figure out the catalyst. Why this? Nothing
catalyst?
visible.
No,
So that-
just it was just parts were missing. Like there had been significant damage. Like somebody had eaten it almost.
strange. Oh,
Eaten from the inside. Like
The lobotomy?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I curse my handwriting. He says as he's looking at these papers.
well, I brought with you one of the people working with us. You know him, Brody Hamner.
Yes, I've the friend of the Chiefs. I've heard of. I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was able to go to the boys' houses and he got us. There was a cupcake wrapper with some of the tarry substance in there. I was
Really?
wondering if you could analyze it. And I wanted to also let you know that Billy, that's over at the asylum, Harcourt gave him this medicine that made him regurgitate real quickly. And it's interesting, but Billy does not remember a thing and seems to be perfectly fine, except for not remembering anything after he had this, whatever he ate. He doesn't remember what he had. But
So it doesn't sound like he has any. He doesn't sound like he has any brain issues. Not like these two did.
Well, it might have been it got removed quick enough, or maybe the brain damage is causing the amnesia.
No, not with the level of damage I saw.
All right.
That level of damage, they would be having at the least, if I had to guess, at the least some significant memory issues. Like, I would even suggest to say, Jen needs to look this up very quickly. Hold on.
This is much more serious than I thought.
very serious.
Psst, I like your other brother better.
At the very least, I would imagine short-term memory issues, like inability to keep things in there for very long. But at least from the patterns of damage I saw, but from the amount they had, I would.
Well, he might have been caught. He might have been able to get out of his system. He gave him, and I told him the drug that it was given to him.
Potassium bromide, really?
Yes. Threw up all the this tarry substance. He might have gotten to him soon enough to keep the damage to a minimum, but we'll never know until, unfortunately, the poor boy dies and we can do an autopsy.
Yeah, he threw up a lot, not like the tiny stuff you found.
Unfortunately, they threw away that stuff too, but I'm handing you this. I know it's going to take a couple of days, but maybe we can find out what it is, or at least
He takes the wrapper and sort of examines it. Yes, that looks about like the same thing. I'll see what I can do with this. There's not a lot here, but given the circumstances, he shrugged a little bit. I'll see what I can do.
Maybe we can bring you more if we get lucky.
yeah.
If you can, that would be great. But I would shudder to think about what this could be doing to them if there's any that still have it.
Yes. Well, that's why I'm letting you know about the drug as well, because maybe, you could have some available in case, you get in call. Let Denton know too. I know Denton is not always the friendliest, but, he'll want to stop this too.
Oh, certainly. He might play fast and loose with the rules, rolls his eyes a bit, but he certainly wants to get this solved as much as we do. Oh,
yeah.
And by the way, Virgil says you owe him $20 from the last time we played cards.
Fascinating. Could we roll out of here now?
Me or is that Clancy here?
That's me. Or no, not to me, but
Well,
it's getting really late.
yeah, it's about time that we get going here.
Actually, he was talking to Vincent, but then he sort of pauses like, but wait a minute. Shaw, didn't he? I think I remember Virgil telling me you also owed him a bottle of booze.
Clancy, we have to go now. I think we're late for that thing. We have to go.
Okay, I pull out a 20 and hand it to Ephraim. Make sure that he gets this.
Thanks, Doc. Appreciate it.
Of course. And plus, I know his usual supplier whenever he needs a pick-me-up, shall we say. He says as he puts the money in his pocket.
Not a problem.
All right. Well, it was nice. I wish I were seeing you under better circumstances, but I'll see what I can do about this, okay?
Oh, yes. I'll see you guys for our usual Sunday night dinner.
Yes, mother insists.
Yep.
All right, see you then.
And then we go. Yeah, you do owe me, Clancy.
Well, after that long conversation about your family and brothers, and I think we're even. Can we get on the road?
Yeah, maybe you could, put his name in the article that we're writing about this.
Sure, his name's going to feature prominently. Let's just hope we can get something off of that little bit.
What's more importantly, let's save these children.
All right,
exactly.
So we're going to drive over a bit quick because Darius is a bit worried that if the kids get bored, the family might be.
I am going to ask the doctor, do you have any clue, do you know of any substance that would cause brain damage that you would ingest? I mean, you would.
Oh, there's several things that could do that, but to cause that
quickly.
Oh, yes. There's all types of toxins and drugs that could do that. But nothing that matches this tarry substance, the only way to find out for sure is a good analysis, but that's going to take days. We need to be more, you just mentioned 2 kids. We need to find those 2 kids and
we're on the way.
Give them this bromide.
Okay.
So we're driving. Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably in Dr. Sprague's car because Darius, you were driving to the asylum, and well, it's currently sitting in front of the sanitarium in several pieces.
That's why I need to talk to the Woodbines. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So, you pull up to the Woodbines' house. You got their address. Pretty easy. And it's also in a sort of this one's actually in again, French Hill. Nice looking house, well kept, not huge, but livable. And out front there's this big oak tree with what looks like a tire swing hanging from it. And on the front porch, there's a couple of rockers, and there's, you see, on the front porch, there's a very haggard-looking blonde woman, sort of chewing on her nails, and looking rather she's real. Oh, yeah, chewing on her nails, and then after a minute, puts them down. Reaches it into her pocket, pulls out a pack of cigarettes and a lighter. Can I help you, gentlemen?
This is Woodburn? Or Woodbine?
Woodbine, yeah. Clara
Gary and
Woodbine.
Mary's mother?
What'd they do now?
Well, that's not my car. Because my car got destroyed by your lovely children. How are you raising kids, Miss Clara Woodbine? Back in my days, I don't know. You're done.
Trust me, she's waving her cigarette. They've never done this before.
Are the kids
don't
here?
Just act up.
Are the kids here?
The street lights haven't come on yet. That's when they usually come home. I don't.
They're running around with knives and bats and swinging in poor form.
Oh, God. My husband and I, we will pay for your car, Mr. Shaw. I promise you that. but I don't know what happened.
Now, you mentioned they haven't always been like this.
No,
What changed?
I don't
Doctor.
know.
Out of curiosity here, have they been out of curiosity, have they had anything new? Maybe some we know it's something that's ingested. I know you didn't do this, but has anyone given them anything special?
Not that I can remember, but she frowns a little bit. They haven't been eating much. Like, it's a fight to even get them to eat a few bites.
Has
Interesting.
this
Too
just
many
recently
sweets.
or been that way for a while?
I don't know. Days maybe. It doesn't make any sense, but they've never been picky before, but now suddenly it seems like even the smell of food makes them want to retch.
That's fast. That's very interesting, Doctor. I'm going to take
they
a look
eating-
up and down the street to see if the kids are coming.
Are they eating when you're not looking? Like, do they have a stash in the room and like so they don't eat dinner?
We've looked, but we find candy, but it's been barely touched, and they won't talk to me. And when they do, it's disrespectful, and Gary laughed when my husband took the belt to him. He's never done that before.
Has this been since school let out?
Just before, I think, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So they've been like this for days? Have they gotten worse? Have they gotten better?
It seems to have gotten. At first, it was just standard kid stuff, disrespect, talking back, that kind of thing. But then it just started getting worse. Stealing and vandalism, and now this.
Do they
I
have
don't-
any friends or anyone they hang out with here?
The neighborhood kids, really. She gestures at the neighborhood. There's packs of kids that run around. They've got their friends.
Any new kids? You know their kids, you know their friends, you know their parents. Any new people?
Not that I can remember. Although Gary did mention some kid who moved in from the country not too long ago, but he said no one seemed to like him much, but it didn't. I don't know. She shakes her head. This doesn't make any sense to me. As she's thinking about it, coming down the street are Mary and Gary, and they both freeze when they see the three of you.
I smile and wave back. Hello, children.
Gary goes, "Ah, shit." And
We
that's-
told you we would be here.
And that is where we're going to leave it today.
Perfect.
Cool. Our players included Thomas Grooms, Dexter Yoakum, Billy Chung, Oren Meyer, and myself with Jen Obertacz as the Keeper of the Secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 to a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.